Got a Roadrunner down here this morning. It's just getting ready to go in the shade, darn it. There he's coming out on the other side. So I still got my Roadrunners around here, and they're having babies. I just saw him by accident when I came out here. It's in the middle of the screen. Wish he'd come back this way. That is a real live Roadrunner. Oh, he went behind the tree. He's over there in the brush behind the tree. Oh well, maybe he'll come on back around here pretty soon. But what I'm getting ready to do, you know, here a while back we planted some onions in that pot right there. Well, I'm getting ready to, well, in that pot, I'm sorry. That second pot right there, or third from this end. But now, I'm going to utilize this pot right here, and I'm going to plant some garlic. What I'm going to do first is kind of break this up a little. Stir it up. It's got still plenty of mulch in there that hasn't broken down yet. Some table scraps and stuff like that, greens. And I should really get this out. Can put it in something else. Put it in the compost pile, really. I brought my gloves out here, but I didn't put them on yet. See, I've got a garlic bulb, and I'm just going to break it up. See if I can straighten this camera up a little bit. But first, what I want to do really is put just a little bit of potting soil in the very top, because I can't put compost in there right now. I'm just putting a little bit of that in there. Like I said, I still got plenty of compost and stuff in there, so that's not going to be a problem, I don't think. But until I can use my compost to put more soil in these totes, I need to put something in here, because I didn't really have enough soil in them to begin with. Now I'm going to put my gloves on here. And I probably should go ahead and take this pepper plant out of here, or at least cut it off. What I'm going to do is break up my bulb Get some of that dead skin stuff off the outside. But see, you can get one bulb and look at all the sections it's got in there. You can get one bulb and plant a whole tote. So I'm just going to break it apart. I know last year we put it in the green stalk tower, and it was okay, but I didn't really particularly care for it. So this year I'm going to plant it in here. And I'm just taking each section with the point end up. I'm going to plant them a couple of inches apart. And just put them deep enough so you barely cover that top point. I could probably even get another one in here. This one had quite a few sections, but not a whole tremendous a lot of them. But like I said, I can get another bulb of garlic and plant it in here. I mean, this has got a whole tub except for the very end. I want them several inches apart. So they have room to grow. If you plant them too close, they don't have room to spread out and grow. So I just need one more, two more over here in this corner, and that's a full pot of garlic, or tote of garlic right there. And I may use this one for onions in the spring, I don't know. What I can do is just break these off. Break this twine because I don't need it out here. Pretty and green. I'm just going to leave the stem in the ground. And if it survives, fine. And if it don't, that's okay too. I'll replant. But I don't think that pepper was going to do a whole lot more because it was dying back. And I don't even have to water it because the soil is already damp. And, you know, I don't care if it's that fast in growing. It can grow at its own pace. Even though I do have plenty of water here in this bucket that I can water it again. So I may do that. I mean, but you don't have to. You can just leave it. Let nature take its course. I'm going to go ahead and water it with this because I've got it here. Watered in a way that I don't wash up my garlic. Because garlic is another one of those plants that don't mind the cold. So well, it don't recognize the glove. I was going to go over here and break some more of this stuff off. See what I can gather up and put in the compost of the greens. Yeah, I don't have much of anything here. I don't even know what that was. It was probably a pepper plant. So it's dead now though. Look at that. Isn't that a Beautiful head of lettuce. Just throw some of it right down in there and let it go to compost. And see my onions right there. Yeah, next time I go to the store, I'll grab another bulb of, and see, there was so much water in it already, it's already dripping out. See, it didn't really need to have to be watered. There's plenty of water in it already. But it's dripping out. But I've been trying to clean up the garden as best I can. But you can see I didn't need to water that. It's just that a little bit of water I put in there is already dripping out. I could probably break these okra off. Because I don't think they're going to produce anything else. But I'm going to leave the bare stem in the ground. And there's the one with the seeds in it. I mean, you see, those things are still green. They're still alive. And they've been trying to put out more leaves. And I'll take that okra in the house and get the seeds out of it. Don't need to leave that one that big. I got one over here. The way the sun is shining, I can't really see what I'm showing you, but I think you can see. I'm just breaking it off. Well, I can't I can't carry the camera. And I'm going out there and I'm going to throw this in my compost bin. At least that way it'll look a little cleaner out here. Have to get my bag of potting mix. And then we can go back around here. Trying not to make y'all dizzy. Whew. I might check on my beets. I don't know if I'll harvest them, but might check on them. Go over here and see what we got in here. That one's above the ground. It's not the biggest in the world, but it's not the smallest either. And I'm just going to break the tops off and put them in the compost. Now you can eat beet tops just like other greens, I've been told. And see, that's not the biggest beet in the world, but it's not the smallest one either. Considering the summer we had and the way these things have been growing, and see, that's kind of a long skinny one. I'm surprised they grew at all. I could have left them even longer. Look at the size of this one. Look at that. That is a big root, big beet right there. I know, I'll get this pan. It doesn't look good, but at least it'll hold them to get them in the house. And I can bring that pan back out. Look at that, there was 2 or 3 grew together. I want to pop that root off, but I can't. But look at the size of that beet, y'all. Look at that, how big it is. I've got onions in here. Well, in separate pots, but and this pot's breaking apart, so I'm just gonna put the dirt down in there. Ah, messy. Leave the pot there, I'll use it for something else. But I'm gonna, can you see it? I'm gonna throw these beet leaves in this compost bin. Anytime I mess in the dirt, I start coughing because I stir up all the stuff I'm allergic to. We'll see what we got in this one. Well, I got little ones. Some of them are too little. One the size of that, big enough. I'm sorry about the coughing, y'all, but I'm so allergic to this stuff. But I love gardening. And I should have had my mask on. But oh well. Well, that's a pretty good size one there. It kind of grew crazy, but it's a pretty good sized beet. I'm gonna throw these in the compost. We'll put some in the bin over here. Because we got another tub of beets over here to pull up. Yeah, these are not that big. And if I'd have left them, they'd have probably got a little bigger. But anyway. Really, I didn't expect to get any the way the summer had been, because it stunted their growth so mad the beginning when I first planted them. That's not too bad right there. It was too dry on them. And this one's not too bad. It's a small one, but it's a good size. So that opens up 1, 2, 3 more pots for planting. And go over here and put this in the other bin. Because I need to start putting stuff over here too. But I got this bucket now open that I can plant in. It's got some good dirt. I don't know, I may break me off another tree collard and put it in there. Oh, let's see. I don't know if those are big enough. There, I got one of these. I'm going to stick it right in the middle. And I got water or compost tea right back here that come out of this bucket. You have to watch because you start getting bushes, grass growing in your buckets. Water that good, and hopefully that will make me another jolly green tree collard. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tree collards, and when I get the chives out of that bucket, I'll have 9. I'll have all of the buckets out here, nothing but tree collards. Trying to break that. You know, I'm the worst about breaking stuff off instead of cutting it. Get these bug-eating leaves off so they quit pulling moisture from the rest of them. But even if you don't like to eat tree collards or collards, if you have some tree collards, you can always break the leaves off, put them in your totes, and use it to compost with. Collards, greens, all that is the best in the world for compost. So you're not wasting tree collards if you plant them because you don't want to eat them. And I'm just breaking the leaves off of most of these because the leaves are half gone anyway, and that way they won't pull moisture from the stem. The stem will have a better chance to survive, or the plant will. And I can pop another one off of there to plant could go ahead and do it and put it right down in the middle of the chives right here. Won't hurt a thing. It's getting over there to it. And I really need something to cut that with. Instead of twisting it and destroying it. Oh, let me get my foot out of there. My leg was cramping on me. Let me run get a pair of scissors right quick. Whew. This is what I should have done to begin with. And I wouldn't have destroyed that cutting as much as I did. But I think it'll be all right. Oh. That way, if I get it rooted now, in the spring of the year, it'll start growing really well with the rest of them. And I put it down deep. Push the dirt down around it snug. That way those chives can grow right along with my tree collard. And I'm not wasting my pot. That way I've got 9 tree collards. And that may be all the tree collards I'll end up with. Because if I take cuttings off of it after that, I might give them away or something. But yeah, collards, these things should live through the winter. I know my my main one lived through the winter in the greenhouse, and it didn't it didn't stay any warmer in there than it did outside. And collards like cold weather, so I may just leave them here and see what happens this winter, or the rest of the winter. If I think I need to, I can always throw a tarp over this and shelter them a little bit. But I may not even need to do that. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, and I still haven't cut that tomatillo. I may just cut it off. Take the stem part and leave it in the pot. It's an awfully big one. And I've got a tomato plant entwined with it. That okra. Let me move the camera back a little bit. Get it too close and you can't see. If I don't get it on level ground though, it's going to turn the camera over. There, that might work. That's another okra plant. See, my little cucumbers didn't even do much this year. It was too dry on them. The vine grew. That's what that is right there. Cucamelon. Ooh, I don't want to bother that. That's got my little tomatoes. Got some tomatoes right there. I don't want to bother them. So I may leave part of that. I don't know. I want those little tomatoes to ripen if they can. That's a tomato plant right there. I don't want to cut that. I'm going to leave that one. I think I'll leave the rest of it because it's helping support these tomato plants that have a couple of little green tomatoes on them. So I'm just going to leave those alone. Go put this over in the compost bin. Oops, kicking this tripod. Let's see here, I've got my compost bin covered in nice fresh beet leaves. And now I've got tomatillo stems. And then I'm going to come back with more leaves and stuff. And then I got to put more dirt. I don't know if I should do any of these tomato plants. I don't want to jinx my tomato plants. So many of them have tomatoes. Get them up off the ground. Cut some of them off. I think I want to leave most of it because I've still got green tomatoes on there, right along with my peppers. See, I gotta take my glove off because I can't control my camera with my glove on. Let's see. Throwing this in the compost bin. I think something got a couple of my big green tomatoes, because there was some big ones on that thing there. Now, what was I going to do here? Oh, asparagus. I've been meaning to cut this stuff forever. And I know it's probably full of seeds. But I don't want to throw it in the compost. So I might just leave it here and put it in the burn pit. I mean, I don't care if the seeds fall down in here, because they're going to come back up next year from the bottom anyway. But I don't want those seeds going everywhere. There's an okra. And there's my squash. I tell you, they're not doing anything much down there, but they're still growing. They're still producing squash. And I really wanted these big tomatoes up. I don't want to run the risk of something getting them. But I don't want to break this plant by moving it either. Maybe if I leave them right there, they'll be all right. At least they're not hanging down back here. My poor blueberry bush. I know they go dormant, so I'm going to leave it. See what happens to it. Cleaned it up a little. That pepper plant's got too cold. But they're still all alive. And as long as I can get plenty in the compost pile, I don't want to pull any of these plants that are living. Yeah, I know this thing has got seeds in it, but I don't want asparagus growing up everywhere. Let it grow in the fire pit. Let's see if you can see the fire pit out there. I think you can. I'll be right back. I'm going to go dump this in it. Well, I do a little bit every day. The more I do, the better it looks, the cleaner it looks. And the more I'm getting ready to plant for next year. Just checking on this stuff. That broccoli looks real good. I don't know that it'll do anything. That bean is really looking good. I'm just wishing there was 5 or 6 different plants of them. But I'm definitely going to save seed off of that plant, surviving that pretty up back here. And I'll definitely plant more of them next year. And it's growing right in that one little pot down here. It's not even in this big pot. It's in the little one behind it. So you never know. Oh, I know what else I wanted to do. And this will be something I can do. I've got a Mother of Millions pot that needs more dirt in it because I got roots coming up. Bring it over here and set it down. Take my gloves off in a minute, or at least one of them. Because I want you to see the roots. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see them. See in there, right there at the end of my finger where the roots are coming off the stalk, and there's no dirt. So what I need to do, I'm going to clip off some of those bottom leaves and just drop them in the pot. Not that one, this one. And that one maybe. And I'm going to get some of that potting mix, and I'm going to put some in this pot so those roots will have something to grow into. I was about to forget about that. Oh, let's see if I can make good use of my stand here. That way I can put my bag of potting mix up here. And my soil. Be able to put more soil in there. So those roots will have something to grow on. Don't want to break the roots off. But that would cause your plant to die. If your roots are above the dirt and they don't have anything to grow on, they're not getting nutrients, they're not getting water. And see each little piece with a little root on it right there, getting ready to fall off the leaf? That's the baby plants. They'll drop in the same pot and give you more plants, and it comes on all over every one of the leaves. So I'm going to put the leaf down in there too. Push the leaf down in the dirt. So maybe some of those babies will have a chance to survive. Maybe not all of them. There's a couple of them here. I'm just going to drop them in the pot. And I got some here too. And you know, I do have another. Let me go get the other one. This is one that I started from the big plant. The little seeds dropped down and they rooted in the dirt. And see, they started new little plants. There's two of them that survived that come up in there. So I might stick some of those in there. And it'll make good compost too for the rest of them. Stick it right down in the pot with my thumb. Push it all the way to the bottom. And they don't need that much dirt on them. If those roots have half a chance to go down in the dirt, they'll go down in there. put some in this one too while I'm at it because it needed a little bit. Kind of growing sideways, but and it doesn't like the winter months when it's not getting a lot of sun. There's one. See how that grows? Looks almost like a spider or something with legs, but those are roots coming out of that seed plant that was on the edge of the leaf. You can't save them. I mean, you can't dry them and save them from one year to the next. They have to be planted as soon as they're ready to come off of that leaf. And there's some of them getting ready to come off of this one. Because once they dry out, they don't grow, they die. I gotta come out here one day and really clean up good. Let's see, where's another pot of water? I can water those real good. Well, the same one I had to water the other one. Yeah, these plants are like tropical plants. They love the sunshine. They're like a cactus. They don't like to live without the sunshine. So there you go. There's the first time I've used my my little workbench, so to speak. And I did make a mess. I know what I'll do. I'll set them right down in here on that tray, that rack. They can drip out the holes. And I'm just going to wash this off a little. So, I showed you how to do your little mother of millions plant with your little plants that fall off, the babies. See, they're all along the leaves. If you'll enlarge your picture, you can see them hanging on, and they got roots on them already. So when they drop, they immediately, if they find dirt, will take root in that dirt and start new plants. I just need these in bigger pots for them to do that. Because with mine, if they drop, they fall out of the pot most of the time, not in the pot. But they do need sunshine. I've been keeping these in the house for the last couple of days, and I've been forgetting to put them out during the day. So they've not been getting sun during the day. And it's been telling on them. The leaves, some of the leaves started to turn yellow, and that's what happens when they don't get sun. They'll turn yellow and they'll finally die. Actual cactus are a little bit more forgiving. They will grow in the shade, but they do love the sun. But these, they don't survive if they're in complete shade. They've got to have sunlight. So there you go. I've showed you how to do the mother of million plants if you ever get one, or if you have one already. I've showed you how to root jolly green tree collar just by breaking it off and sticking the stem down in the dirt. We've harvested a whole tray full of beets that I have, gathered. Now I need to take them in the house and do something with them. Just peel them and cook them. And I'll probably just pickle them. Put a little bit of vinegar and sugar in the pot and cook them and pickle them that way. That's the way I like to eat them, is to make pickled beets out of them. So that'll be enough for me. That'll make a quart or more. A good quart, maybe not quite 2 quarts of pickled beets for me, and that'll last a while. Because, I don't eat pickled beets every day. So, and I've showed you that you can plant Egyptian walking onions this time of year. If you've got bulbs from your plants where they walked and produced baby bulbs, go ahead and replant those bulbs. Don't let them dry out on you. Go ahead and plant them. Plant garlic. Buy you a couple of bulbs of garlic and break them apart and sow them in a tote like I did. I just showed you how to do it. And you'll have a tub full of garlic. They don't mind the cold weather. You saw that my Egyptian onions, they don't mind the cold weather. A lot of people will plant big bulb onions, the red onions, the yellow onions, this time of year because they grow better in the cool weather. And then come spring, they'll produce you some really nice big onions. And I haven't got any onion plants, or I would probably plant some. But I may get some. And if I do, I will do a video on me planting them. That might be what I use one of these totes for, is to plant, or a couple of totes, plant yellow onions and some red onions. Because I eat red onions quite often, but I hardly ever buy them. So it would do me good to plant a tub full of red onions and a pot full of yellow onions, because I use a ton of those. I'm always running out of onions. So with that, I'm going to wish you a good day. I hope the tips and tricks that I showed you for today has helped. Like I said, plant you some garlic, plant some onions, plant you some Egyptian walking onions. I showed you on your mother of millions plant. They love sunshine, but they don't like freezing cold temperatures. You do have to take those and put them inside the house, because they have to stay warm in the freezing cold temperatures or the plant will die. Just like my aloe vera. Now, in some areas where it doesn't get down to freezing, they survive year-round. But here, if it drops below, say, 30 degrees, the aloe vera will freeze and it dies. So that's why I got my big plant in the house this year, because I lost that great big mother plant last year, and that was one of the cuttings from it that grew even just as big as the original plant did over the summer. So there you go. So again, please like, share, subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye now.